Hi, good afternoon. It's Lydia with the Avanti Wellness Podcast and YouTube channel. And it is late for me. It is, what time is it? 6 o'clock, and I'm doing my booster late. That's because I took a nap. So I just woke up from a nap. I was exhausted. I went to bed late for New Year's evening, and then I woke up early, which I didn't want to do, but my mind was racing about our event that we had this morning. And so I went ahead and I just got up anyway. Now I'm a lot more relaxed. I had a little sleep, and I'm going to get my booster in at 6 o'clock before I go and figure out what I'm going to have for dinner. So I'm going to hop on and get it done. All right. Hold on. Let me get some water. How was y'all's first day of the new year, 2024? Alexa, give me a 5-minute timer.
5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Starting with my little health bounce. All right. So after our event, let's see, we shut down the live. Does that look funny? Okay, I know my head's chopped off, but maybe let me put the camera back just a little bit. After our event, some of us stayed on and talked about the community and about the movement, and we talked about a book club where we kind of just read interesting books. We talked about tea time where we could get together and have some tea over Zoom, talk about things that we have in common, things that interest us, things we're trying to learn, things we want to learn more about. And then after we got off, I made a little breakfast. And then I actually watched the event because kind of like when you're doing it, you're just all in the moment. And I was trying to see if I said certain things that I meant to say or that I wanted to say. And after I finished it, I talked to Robin first before she was on the call. And then my sister called me after all that, and we talked for a little while. And then what happened? I think I had to go take a shower because I had to go to the cemetery company and help create a mock-up for our footstone for my mom's site. So I worked on that, and then I was just exhausted. I really didn't even eat lunch because I was so tired. I didn't want to go to take a nap on a full stomach. So I just decided to take a nap first and see how I felt. So now I'm going to have like lunch/dinner and cleaning up my house from all the Christmas stuff. Not all of it. I'm going to leave my Christmas tree. I have a little tiny Christmas tree. I'm going to leave that up. And then some of my Christmas lights. But I'm putting up all the nativity scenes. And that takes a while. Then I got to just get things picked up for the new year. Did y'all do something today? What did y'all do? Comment below what you did today, how you felt today, especially my ladies that were on the rebounding call, Rebounding. So first of all, guys, I could not see because y'all are too far away and a little screen over there, and plus you were little squares. So I couldn't really see specific people when I was doing the rebounding. But when I watched it back, I watched it on my television, and so it blew up everything so nice and fun to watch. And I was impressed. Oh my God, Ginger, I think is she in South Carolina or yeah, I think she's in South Carolina. I want to say Ginger in Georgia. Well, I mean, just because Gigi. So, but I think she's in South Carolina. Oh my gosh, so impressive. And you even did like the hit training thing with me where you turned sideways and you did that little hit training. I would love your feedback, Ginger. Do you feel like that does something? Because I do. That's why I do it, because I feel like it activates something, like turns something on. It definitely gives me that oomph at the end of the bounce. So that was good. And then yesterday, I want to tell y'all, I watched the I Jump Instead girl that was on a chat. And man, when I think about my body, like somehow surprising us all and turning into some kind of a bodybuilder shaped body, rebounding, like I am so curious if that is actually possible. And I think my body's like the perfect body to do that with because it's so big. And like if rebounding can change Lydia's body to be a muscular bodybuilder body, it can do anybody's body. Oh my God, that's definitely something to laugh about. My alarm's going off, okay? 5 minutes is already up. Booster's up. All right. Alexa, stop the timer. All right. Here we go. I don't normally do the energizer thing. I don't think on my 5 minutes, but I'm going to. 5, 10, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last off. Okay. Last off. Woo. Oh. So I wanted to tell y'all when I was laying in bed just now, taking a nap, I felt like, my body laying in the bed, it just feels different and it feels good. So I want y'all to continue to take note of very small changes that start to feel different. Like just when I touch my arm right here, it feels different. It feels tighter. You know, y'all heard the thing that Robin's doing. I'm building muscle and tightening skin. I'm building muscle and tightening skin. I'm building muscle and tightening skin. She says that while she rebounds in her, either out loud or in her head. And I like it because as I start to lose weight with this big body, you know, you don't want tons of loose, saggy skin. And I would love to find out that rebounding builds muscle and tightens skin, builds muscle and tightens skin. I can already tell that my arms are smaller. Hi, Elaine. Happy New Year. I can already tell that my arms underneath here, even though they're still big old arms, they're smaller. They're smaller, big arms. I have smaller, big arms now, and it feels good. It feels so good. And I want y'all to feel good. And all I do is that tiny little bounce. I don't even take my feet off of the mats half the time. I just like, just a little tiny march, just a little tiny bounce. Sometimes I do it like this. Sometimes I do it like this. I don't even take my feet off the mat. I'm just bouncing. It's squeezing the lymphatic, squeezing the cardiovascular vessels. All of that oxygen is getting into the cells and causing the body to, like I said this morning, wake up, get to attention and say, sir, yes, sir, sir, what do you want me to do, sir? I'm here to serve you, sir. I needed to do whatever your brain tells me to do. So tell me, give me some direction, sir. And I'm like, go build muscle and tighten skin, go build muscle and tighten skin, go build muscle and tighten skin. And you know what? I'm not going to get into a big exercise class and kick around and lift all these weights and stuff. I want to see if something so simple as me bouncing like this
could it be possible that life doesn't have to be that hard? Could it be possible that just doing something as simple as bouncing could actually help us shrink and be patient? Okay. If you're not shrinking, you got to ask yourself, am I drinking enough fluids? What are the fluids I am drinking? Because your body is in a state of trying to keep you alive, and it's not going to release fluid if you're not giving it fluid. You got to give it fluid, and then it says, oh, fluid comes easily and effortless to me, so I can release it, and I'll get rid of this old fluid because she's bringing in all the new fluid. So I could just release, because Lydia's going to bring it. So think about what you're telling your cells and your body as you start to work on yourself, okay? I'm going to read that book. Y'all want me to, I think it's right there. Let me run over real quick and see if I can show you the book I'm going to start, okay? 1 second. I'm going to try to be fast. I think it's right here by my recliner. Oh, where is it? Oh, I think it's on my table. Yep, here it is. Got it. All right. Got it. All right. I feel energized. After being on my rebounder, I'm going to share a little bit about this. I haven't even ever looked at this book, The Cellular Wellness Solution. And I would love to get this author, Bill Rawls, MD. My mom followed all his protocols. I would love to get him on the podcast and tell them that I'm going to read his book. It's a big freaking book, but it's got big font, so that's good. For this 55-year-old needs a little big font. Good job doing mine soon. Hi, Jamie. I love that I know who y'all are now. That's so fun. Hi, Jamie. How's the pups? How are the dogs? Well, are you going to feed them soon? They need some food. So, like, for instance, from health crisis to life-changing discovery. How wonderful does that sound? Does that sound wonderful to you? I'm reading a book, this one right here. I got to finish it. I'm going to finish this book really soon. It's The Oil That Heals. I'm on the end, and I want to finish it before I start this other one. But the chapter that I'm reading, he's like, y'all, the consensus is that the body wants to heal itself. You just got to find the secret code. It's like the Da Vinci Code. You got to figure out what the Da Vinci Code is for your body. It's not the same for everyone. I have a completely different makeup of functions in my body than you do. So I'm just sharing what I am going to do and see if any of it resonates for you. But I'll give y'all an example. I grew up in South Texas, Southeast Texas in the 70s, late 70s. So when I was born in 68. So in the late 70s, we used to go to church and they would put like saltine crackers on the little baby table, like the toddler table, and just be like, here's some food. And like, now that I understand about flour, oh my God, like my poor little tiny baby 3-year-old digestive system was getting doused with white saltine crackers and I remember like eating a lot of them. And then like, we didn't have a lot of sweets in our home, but we did have saltine crackers because my dad ate them and he never had a weight problem. But it was like the brain chemistry of eating saltine crackers and causing a dopamine hit or something from that white flour and that turning into sugar quickly in the body. It gave me a very similar feeling than just eating some sugar. So I ate saltine crackers as a young child. And then I moved over to this is stuff my mom didn't really know at the time. And of course we didn't know. I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. And do y'all remember you could buy a little can of, let's say, like Hungry Jack biscuits or something. I mean, they have different names now. I think did you get 6 biscuits in a little tiny can? And they would sell them for 10 cents each. Like, this is in the 70s. And so I think you could buy like 10 of those little cans for $1 or something crazy. And so my mom would let me go and buy them for breakfast during the summers because I could make biscuits in the summer for myself, and we just didn't know that the biscuits were making me fat, and then of course, since I was 9 years old, I was on diets and in Weight Watchers. And, I think my first Weight Watchers meeting, I was probably like, I don't know, was I like 13, 14 when I first went to a Weight Watchers meeting? So I remember my first diet was like I was 9 or 10. My mom gave me, I think, $1 for every pound I lost or something like that. And so she was just incentivizing me to not eat as much. Do y'all remember the little white slices of bread? They're like sliced down. And I think they were like 70 calories each slice. And so they were so tiny, and they were tiny slices. So it was like half of a normal size of, whiter wheat bread, but it was the little white thin ones. And she would buy that for me in the 70s for me to make my ham sandwiches in the morning and I would make one for my lunch for school. And then I would just make one for my breakfast and run off to school and eat a ham sandwich for breakfast and a ham sandwich for lunch, So I wouldn't say I was getting the most nutrition, in the morning. My mom had 4 girls, and she would make us food at night. He's a Lyme disease expert. Yes, I know. So my mom got bit by a tick, and she was, her home was in Louisiana. And she was there with her sister when she was in her 70s or late 60s or 70s, and she found a tick on her. And it come to find out, like, the best Lyme disease doctor in the, I think, world is in Pineville, Louisiana, which is like 10 minutes from Dry Prong, which is where my mom grew up. And my aunt had a house, and so they would go visit it and got tick bit. I don't think my mom ever went back to Louisiana after that. She definitely didn't hang out in the woods after getting bit by a tick. And that's when she started doing Lyme protocol. She never got officially diagnosed because her body was already cleaned out. She was already that 150-pound cleaned out cellular picture of health that I showed a picture of this morning. And so she wasn't as affected as some of the people in her support group. Her body didn't have the same kinds of reactions because she had already cleaned up her diet, but she wanted to add what she could learn to have more energy and to have more vitality and clean out. So she was doing castor oil stuff. And when she died, I got her big bottle of castor oil because it was in her bathroom and we were throwing stuff away. So I'm excited. If anybody wants to read this book with me, I'm going to read it this year. So here's the title. It says, The Cellular Wellness Solution. Tap into your full health potential with the science-backed power of herbs. And see, we already know that herbs are powerful. The herbs that we currently eat are Chinese herbs. And we're in a community of people who've been eating these Chinese herbs for years, like 40 years. And so when I see these elderly people, I'm sure Robin doesn't want me to call her elderly, but she's 86 years old and she was rebounding and she walks every day. That's how I'm inspired. I'm inspired by older people who have vitality. And so I want to emulate what the older people with vitality are doing so that I can get as close to that as possible when I'm that age. But I'm really trying to solidify it now that I'm 55. I'm trying to get I just turned 55, and that kind of, my mom had just passed away in May, and then I turned 55, and that really just kind of helped solidify my new commitment to be determined to finally work. I'm working at living my best life. Okay. I've done a lot of personal growth stuff on my head. I have worked on my healing, my pain and my sadness and my trauma and a lot of stuff. It was so easy for me to go through those feelings and emotions. I have not ever wanted to be disciplined to move this heavy body because my skeletal system is very heavy. It's 115 pounds. And how do I know that? I took a DEXA scan where you lay on this bone measuring some kind of array, and it's like an x-ray, and it just goes real slow. And it's like, I think it's pinging like sonar every half inch or whatever to see how much density your bones and your skeletal system have. And when I got off that table, the practitioner was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? Do I have like holes in my bones?" And she's like, "No, you are never going to have osteoporosis." She was like shocked at how thick my bones were and the size of them and the how heavy they were. And I'm like, no freaking reason why. I mean, like, that's clearly why I don't enjoy walking, because I'm like Frankenstein. I'm walking around carrying 115 pounds of bone on top of my big ass. Bread is my weakness. Jamie says, bread is my weakness, but I learn to make it myself. Oh, well, oh, you probably make sourdough. I don't have to buy the bag of bread chemicals. Oh, Jamie, you sound so exciting. I'm so glad that you're so able to be actively involved in your health. One of these days, Jamie, if you want to, you can tell your health journey and story on the podcast. I'll just have you as a guest and we'll record it. And, if you want to help inspire others, you can tell your health story and all the things you do to try to maintain and be healthy with the circumstances that you have. Hopefully that would be able to be inspirational for others. So I have to tell y'all something. A friend of mine, I was supposed to go out of town tomorrow, and I still might. It's a 4-hour drive. I just don't, I'm not in the mood. I've got so much going on. My house is like disheveled right now. I don't know if I'm going to go, but one of the reasons like I don't want to go into the country is because I don't have Wi-Fi and internet, and I'll probably like skip my videos. And I just feel like it's like not the right time. The momentum with the kickstart. I mean, I'm definitely going to take my rebounder if I go, and if I can connect to their Wi-Fi at the cabin, then I'll rebound in front of the pond on the back porch, which is what I might end up doing because I haven't been totally convinced not to go out of town. I just don't know if I'm going to go. I'm really like trying to figure that out if I really want to do it, but it's a long drive for 2 nights. So I have Lyme disease and it's hard to get rid of. Yeah, I know. Had it for years and didn't know it. Oh, wow. Jamie, how did you get diagnosed? Like, well, how do they diagnose Lyme? How do people know that it's Lyme disease? Is it just a doctor's understanding of what the symptoms are, or is there some kind of a blood platelets or something that tells you you've got the disease inside of you? Like, I'm so curious about that. I don't know that much about it. My mom was very private. I asked her like 2 weeks before she just died. I asked her, I'm like, Mom, when are you going to be on my podcast? I want to record you in your story so you can be inspirational at 87 for other people. And granted, some of y'all out there might think, well, she died. You know what? Everybody's going to die. I'm going to die. That is our one guarantee in life. We are all dying. I'm sorry to tell you, but everyone's dying, okay? How you live is the important part. How much vitality do you have? Do you get to still drive at 87? Do you get to go to work if you want to at 87? Do you still make your own food? Do you not have diapers at 87? Like, there's so many things. Are you not on medications at 87? Are you spending a lot of money on meds at 87? So my mom was, to me, a picture of health because she didn't have any of those situations, and she did work up until her last day was of working with the little children. She worked 2 days a week, and her last day was like May 19th. And I just found her in her house. She'd passed away, but I was telling the lady at the cemetery, what I think happened, but it was not a long, drawn-out disease with hospital stays, which she didn't want. She didn't want prodding and poking and medicines and all that stuff. She didn't want to die like that. She always told us that she just wanted to hopefully die in her sleep or something at her house. I mean, how many people wish they could just die peacefully and have like no incident and no issue? The hardest part, guys, of someone dying is like not being able to say goodbye. But the thing is, because I lost my sister when I was 21, I learned at a very young age that you never know. Tragedy can strike at any time, and you never know when you're going to lose your loved ones. And so from the day that mom was 70 and, life looked like it could end any day, when you're older, I just loved on her, spent time with her, hung out with her, did everything with her, did everything for her, wanted to help her more. She loved her independence. So even when I tried to help her, she was like, I don't want you to help me. I want to do it myself, and so she always wanted to resist help because she wanted to do it and have her sense of feelings of independence for so long. And, her health, I used to always say her health was the biggest gift that she gave me and my sisters, because my sisters moved away and didn't have to worry about her at all, especially because I was home here in hometown, looking after her. And so, just living a good life is all we really want, right? And so I want to inspire us all to just live our good lives, love the people that you need to love, say you're sorry to the people you need to say you're sorry to, bury old baggage that doesn't serve you, and just start living your best life. Figure it out, because it's not worth it. It's not worth the trouble that it can cause. There's a scale. Oh, you're talking about how to identify Lyme's disease. There's a scale by vitality that does that. Okay. I have it. Probably not as accurate, but neat tool to say the least. Okay. I would love that. Okay. I think you're probably referring to, I would love to be a podcast guest. Jamie, let's do it. Let's get it. I'm always looking for interesting people to tell their stories. Guys, I have 3 podcasts, okay? I have one that's travel, one that's spiritual, and this one. So I'm building up platforms and things to give me freedom. So I want freedom more than anything. I've always wanted freedom. I've always wanted self-reliance and freedom. I don't know what it is. It's probably a past life thing. So who knows? I have no idea, but I've always wanted it. So, okay. Hi, guys. Happy evening. My dog is taking a nap, so Mama's got some time without her crying. So, yeah. Jamie, do you have this book already? Because you knew what it was when I posted about it before. Have you read it? Do you have any feedback or insights and stuff? Y'all, when you think about herbs, I mean, the human race was eating herbs and plants for survival for millennia. So the fact that we don't eat them doesn't make sense to me. We need them for our vitality. If we want to survive as a species, We need to be eating these. We got to get back to the basics. That's why I'm excited about reading this, because I've never read a book about herbs before. So I'm going to read it. You can get blood tests, muscle testing, etc. Okay, I went to the naturopath doctor. Okay. All right. So let's hear your story on a podcast, Jamie. How many? Raise your hands if you want to hear Jamie's story. But definitely need to be tested by someone who understands the contact. My mom, took the online test and stuff, and she was like, yeah, I think I have Lyme disease. So anyway, what Bill Ross, he said he cured himself from Lyme. So that's what my mom was following him, and he talked about learning and studying the herbs and bringing them into his life. I also been tested for, mold toxicity. So I have to schedule okay. Ooh, expensive. Ooh, yeah. Jamie, your mind is also very powerful, as I'm reading in that book, the Castor Oil book. So start telling yourself that your body, that all the rebounding and all the cellular sizing, whatever you want to call it, is cleaning out, shaking up the cells that are no longer serving you. You don't need that mold in your body anymore, and you are releasing it with every bounce. And for any of y'all who are hearing that and you've got something in you that you want out, talk to yourself while you're bouncing and say, I'm releasing this blank. It no longer needs to be in my body. I've learned what I need to learn from it. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to get it out. I'm ready to heal. Heal me, body. Do whatever you need to do to get this disease state, XYZ, whatever that is, healed. And proclaim it with your head and do it with your bouncing and believe it. If it comes, don't question it. Just say, okay, like maybe you go to the doctor, and I definitely am putting that in, that everybody needs to go to their doctor and get everything verified and testified. That's your absolute guidance system, not me. I'm just giving you inspiration. That's what this channel is for, inspirational purposes, entertainment purposes only. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing what I do and believe. And so far it's worked for me. Of course, we never know what we don't know, but right now I'm doing good. I don't have any diagnoses or pills, or never have. I've never spent the night in a hospital. So something I'm doing since I was 30 years old is working. So absolutely. Words are so powerful. Yes. Duty. Yes. Sheila, absolutely. The brain is powerful. I'm so glad that y'all in my community understand this. Let's help the world understand it too, because our brains are so powerful. Oh my God, there's study after study after study about how the power of your brain matters. So I remember you telling us, Jamie, about your brother on another chat. I'm sorry that you lost your brother at 30. Yeah, I was 21. My sister was 30, 29, 30. So I know how old were you, Jamie? You said when I was 30. Okay. How old was he? If you were 30, how old was he? So I get it so much. That's why I love this channel. Yay! I resonate with you, and the channel has helped me so much. Oh my God. Y'all, when you talk like that, it just really warms my heart. That's all I ever wanted, was to help myself and help people too in the process. And sometimes, when you're going through the hard times, you're just basically saying to yourself, like, there has to be a reason, there has to be a purpose to go through all this struggle, because I went through a lot of struggle in my 20s and my 30s. My 40s were good. I had good times in my 40s, and then my 50s are even better. They turned black and fell off within 3 weeks. Oh wait, I want to see what you're talking about. Okay. This is going to sound crazy. Oh my God, y'all, nothing is crazy. Y'all share whatever you want that you're comfortable with. I love crazy. but I had 2 warts on a finger for more than a year, and I finally decided that I had enough. I told them, I totally believe that. I have stuff like that too. Y'all, my dog, she's saying the warts just fell off. They turned black and they fell off. That's why we're talking about it, y'all. I'm on a live video talking about this because I want to give people inspiration. You know, a lot of people don't want to talk publicly about these things because, like, is that Elaine? Like Elaine said, you know, it sounds crazy, you know, and we do sound crazy. Oh my God, I have to tell you something. I hope my aunt's not watching this live feed. I don't really think she is, but I'm going to tell you. So she has tablets, you know, like cell phones and tablets that she reads her emails and looks at the internet on. And her finger, she's 80, I don't know, 3 years old. And there's like her finger's not making a reaction. She hits the app and it doesn't do anything. And she hits the link and it doesn't do anything. And then I hit it. I'm like, well, just touch it like this. It works. And she was like, why is it not working for me? And I'm like, you need to go. I just gave her a recommendation. I said, go outside, put your feet in the ground once a day, put them in the grass, get in a chair, put your feet in the grass, and she just stopped me right there and she goes, I'm not going outside and putting my feet in the dirt. And I was like, oh, well, then continue to not have electro sensitivity in your finger for all the computer devices now that are touchscreen. Your GPS in your car is touchscreen, your cell phone's your touchscreen, your tablet, my computer, my laptop is touchscreen. Some televisions now are touchscreen, computer monitors are touchscreen, and it's all working off the fact that we are electrical beings. Inside of ourselves is electrical charge. I have a DVD that the man used to come to Houston. We have a DVD. I'm going to ask his wife if I can extract the DVD into a digital format, and I'm going to put his video on my channel. He just educates us about the medical physiology of the cells and of the body. And that, Jamie, remember you were talking about the potassium sodium ratio is so key and important. And most of our diet has too much sodium and not enough potassium in it. And so eating lentils, and I think pumpkin seeds have a lot of potassium in them. I got pumpkin seeds from Costco. I got the little green ones, and they're from Costco. And I just poured them out of the bag, and I put them in a little jar, and I put them next to where I make my coffee in the morning. And sometimes I just take a little scoop and eat some because I'm like, potassium in my body, right thing, first thing in the morning. Pumpkin seeds also, I think, have protein in them. So I'm not a nutrition expert. I'm just telling you, like, I hear things and then I implement things, and now I'm just kind of reiterating what I do. So these are like the little tricks and I know somebody acknowledged that I have my little Celtic sea salt pack that I have next to my bed, and I have my bottle of water next to my bed. And in the morning after I do my lumen, where I check my CO2 levels, Jamie, that would probably be good for you actually to have a lumen, but to see what's happening on the inside of your body, because the CO2 burn off is an indicator. So when you're stressed, you have more CO2. When you're getting sick, you have more CO2 in your body. When you're in relaxed state and you're burning fat, you have less CO2, because I guess burning fat doesn't burn CO2, but glucose creates CO2 in the body. So I've been having fun for the last year and a half with my Lumen little CO2 personal reader. Anyway, I mean, that's a funny story. Like, my aunt doesn't want to go stick her feet in the ground and get grounded. And I'm like, okay, we'll continue to have problems with your touch pads, because there are simple, cheap ways of getting outside and getting, even holding, Jamie has a bunch of dogs, even holding onto a dog or a cat my dog goes and lays in the grass in the morning in the sun and gets grounded and makes her feel good. And then when I hold her, she can ground me. She doesn't like me to hold her like that anymore now that she's 16, but I just want to hold her and squeeze her and kiss her. So since she doesn't like me to do that, I have to go ground myself outside in the backyard. So that was just a few weeks ago. Oh, with the wart story, it's only a few weeks ago. Awesome. We definitely need to. Okay, I don't know what y'all are talking about. We need to do what? Y'all are responding to things that I say. Oh, what did I say? I said something about, tell stories. Oh, you know what? We're going to tell stories in the private Zoom meetings. We're not telling too many stories. We don't want to get flagged for giving misinformation. So we'll tell that in our private Zoom meetings. I love stories. I know I sure haven't. I don't know what that means. I just want to watch all his stuff. Oh, you're talking about Bill. Oh, reading the book. Jamie, you're responding to my question about reading his book. I just watched all his stuff for years. I'm going to do that. He was 33. Oh, your brother was 33 and you were 30. Yes, I started watching videos on Morphic. Ooh, Elaine. Oh my gosh. Do you know enough about that to tell us what it is on a podcast? Morphic resonance. And that gave me the idea for talking to my, let's do a podcast and talk about it. Morphic resonance is similar to electrical fields or electrical fields as part of it. Yes. How cool would that be? I would love to learn more. Morphic resonance. I need to look that up, although I don't have time tonight, but that sounds so interesting. Oh, I'm crying. I love this. I'm so glad I found you, Lydia. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Jamie. I'm crying too. I'm just trying to not be a blabberwort because I am emotional. Have y'all ever heard of HSPs? There's a book and there's a movie. Jamie, you might be one, an HSP. It's a term for highly sensitive person. And there's a movie on Netflix called, wait, hold on. Oh, it's called Sensitive. So go search for the movie Sensitive. And Alanis Morissette is in there, and the woman who wrote the book, Highly Sensitive Person. And they say it's good to have one as an employee because I could pick up energy like from employees. I could tell they weren't talking about being dissatisfied, but their energy was emitting, I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy. And I told my boss, I was like second in command at his little startup company. And I was like, we should start looking for a backup person in case, this main person leaves. And so I started like interviewing this guy just to like see. He was living in another state like Portland, and I'm like, what's your availability? Would you come live in Houston and work at our hydroponic farm, blah blah blah. And so I sensed it, and literally after I told him like, oh, that sounds interesting, we would like you to come work for us, but we don't have a position yet. And then literally like within a week I walked into a conversation at the farm, and my boss goes, oh, guess what? So-and-so is letting me know that she won't be working for us any longer, coming, in 2 weeks notice or whatever. And then he said, why don't you call back, blank? And I was like, oh my gosh, why did you say that I was talking to someone? Because I wasn't necessarily wanting her to leave. I just wanted to be prepared if she left because she was unhappy, because everybody has the right to work, right? I mean, everybody has the right to choose where they want to work. So you just got to be ready when the time comes to, and we were such a small company. That you had to be ready. Okay. Oh, pumpkin seeds help kill parasites. Oh, that's great. You know what? I saw an Instagram post yesterday that said green tea does too. So that's good because I eat my parasite, my pumpkin seeds in the morning, and then I'm drinking like in that big thing is my daily green tea that I drink. So love hearing that. I don't want parasites in me. Want to get those little pokers out. I thought about that, and a glucose monitor. Oh, I want to get a glucose monitor too. Put it right here. See what's happening when I eat chips and queso or Christmas cookies or whatever I'm eating. So, I told y'all at this point, I know how to lose weight. I do. I lost 90 pounds in 2003 in like 7 months. So, knowing what my body needs and doesn't need, that's not the question. It's the desire. It's the desire to sacrifice. I don't have that desire to restrict myself. I'm trying to muster up the desire to do the elimination of, like the cheddar biscuits I made yesterday, So last night I had breakfast for dinner. So, stuff like that. So, but that's what the cool thing is about just doing the 10 minutes of light bouncing a day. I'm not doing crazy restricted diets yet. Maybe I won't, but I love the fact that my body's changing just from doing that. Thought about that. Okay. I walked my dogs outside with no shoes. Oh, I'm down in the South and I have warmer temperatures, sometimes 70 when I walk my dog. And I had like flip-flops on. They were like UGG, purple UGG furry flip-flops. Doesn't that sound fun? Cute? They're really soft. I only wear them in the winter because they're just too much material for the hot summer. But I was walking them in 70-degree weather, and I took my flip-flops off and I walked in the grass while my dog was walking. And I was like, okay, I'm going to ground while I'm walking my dog and getting that done. And then I don't have time to sit out in the backyard today. So I'm going to just ground while I'm walking. So yes, great idea. Y'all, I feel the difference. They say, like, if y'all don't know what we're talking about, just go Netflix it, go look on the YouTube and Google grounding. What does grounding do for you? Why do we need to ground? We used to walk around in no shoes in the world anyway. And, do y'all ever like think about like all of these, Native Americans and all these people who lived before us that had beautiful hair and strong white teeth and healthy skin and, diseases weren't killing them, they didn't have diabetes. Anyway, I think about that and I think about how to get more back to nature. What were the things that they were doing and what can I incorporate when I live in the fourth largest city in the United States, So I mean, it's a balance, between living in a big city with a lot of cement and still getting in touch with nature. So I feel like I need to go wake up my dog and get her a walk before it gets too late. I mean, it's already 7. Wow, I've been on here for an hour, 47 minutes and 50 seconds. I just saw the live feed. Can y'all see that? I don't think y'all are able to see that number. Anyway, it's like a little ticker in the left-hand corner of my screen that's telling me how long I'm on the call. So anybody who has amazing, fun stories that they're not embarrassed telling online, let's do, even if it's a short little 15-minute get together. Hi, Tara. Have a good night. Thank you, Tara. Good to see you. Thanks for being on today, Jamie and Tara and Duty, as far as the morning. That was fun. And V emailed me this afternoon. I need to reply to her tonight. She had a good time and really felt motivated, from the experience, and that's fun. I'm going to figure out how we can create better community. So like I said in some of my videos, I think there's some tools that I can turn on. I just got to take the time to study what they are. So we're only 75 people away from my goal, and it's okay that I didn't hit it by 1/1/24 because we're going to hit it anyway. We're going to help the world see that there is possibility for them to heal themselves and get their warts to fall off. I love that. I have so many stories. I have fun manifestation stories. I told y'all this story. I'm not going to tell it again. I'm referencing it, but remember the manifestation story about my dog and finding a dog needing a sign. And my real middle name is Joy, and I wanted to name my dog Joy. I just didn't know what dog I was going to get. And then the dog I ended up finding in Blessing, Texas was already, it was a little 6-week-old baby. And the little 12-year-old boy named Carson had already given her a name, and her name was Joy. And you know what her mother's name was? Her mother's name was Happy. And you know what? I don't know what her brother's name was, but that Carson really enjoyed naming his little puppies that he had had. And I brought her home on the 23rd of December, so recently, like 16 years ago. And she was born in November, like the 5th, 2007. And so she has been a true joy in my life. She's so great. She's such a kind dog. She loves everybody. I'm so grateful to have had her all these years. And I feel like she's like this she has an Instagram account. I made her a while back, and her Instagram name is, because she's a dachshund. So I think it's the Dalai Lama, like the Dalai Lama, because I feel like she's just this little spiritual being that is here to provide love, joy, and happiness to the world. And I'm just her caretaker who gets her fed and sleeps and protects her so that she can continue to spread love and joy to the world. And that's how it feels. It feels like she's the one that's here for a purpose, and I'm here to help her do her purpose. And so I got to get that little baby a walk before it gets too dark. So let's see. Jamie says, good night, Tara. Jamie says, found it hard food is hard for me. I have an emotional attachment. Jamie, you probably heard me talking about that like last couple of days ago. I was talking about emotions and how it's important. Oh, remember when I was talking about equanimity, how I had just heard that word, and that's basically how to learn how to be even keeled, even with your emotions. And I was saying how important that is in our lives, because our cells respond to our state of thinking. So if we're in a constant state of sadness and upsetness, then our cells are reactive to that. And so for a truly healthy state, we need to have balance and equanimity in our emotions. And so I also use food as comfort, and, choose what I want, because again, my little theme is I like freedom. So it's like, I don't want anyone telling me what I can't and cannot do, and of course I pay the price with my big ass for, eating that extra tortilla chips or whatever I'm eating, and so one of these days, and I'm hoping through this transformational journey on this channel, that I'm going to continue to be inspired to do more and more and better and better. And because when I lost that 90 pounds in 2003, I ate so clean. I ate spinach all the time, and like spinach salads, and I would cut up fish or chicken and have like measured tablespoon of dressing, like I was so precise, and it was rigid, and it was not fun, and I didn't love it. And I don't like living like that. I want to live with freedom and joy. So I'm just hoping that I can learn how to have balance and grace and patience and happiness and experience life in a lovely way like people in Europe do. I just need to move more in 24 to balance, like especially if you're eating the foods, if you move more, then your foods get passed through and they don't get stagnant. And so that's what I'm talking about. The fact that you can, oh, my alarm's going off in my bed. So anyway, I was supposed to wake up from my nap at 7, so I got up early. Okay, guys. So time to go say goodbye. Goodbye. This was my 5-minute booster, and it lasted 54 minutes. So fun talking to y'all tonight on our New Year's Day. And I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to do a morning 10 minutes. I don't know if I'll make a booster if I'm driving out of town. So I don't know what's up. Okay. Thank you guys. Stay connected. Email me for the ladies that have my email if you have any questions or anything. And I look forward to figuring out how we're going to make 2024 great together. Yeah? Does that sound good? All right. Bye, guys. Ciao. Arrivederci.